3 weeks, Iowa Democrats will choose their nominee for U.S. Senate. It's a decision that could shape their chances of flipping the seat come November. KCCI's chief political reporter Amanda Rooker shows us how both candidates are trying to prove they're Democrats' best shot.
With the clock ticking towards the June primary, Iowa Democrats face a key decision: Zach Wahls or Josh Turek. Both state lawmakers, each arguing they're the strongest choice to win in November.
I've been willing to fight for the constituents who need a voice.
Wahls campaigned alongside U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren Monday, meeting with nurses and union workers to talk about rising health care costs.
I believe Zach Wahls is the person who can win the Senate race in Iowa.
Warren says that matters, arguing Democrats need to flip Iowa's U.S. Senate seat to protect health care access and restore Medicaid funding.
If we can have a Democratic majority, we can reverse those cuts before more people in Iowa die and more rural hospitals close.
Wahls says his willingness to take on tough fights and challenge both parties will help him win statewide.
Voters are frustrated with leaders in both parties. They see that there are too many folks on one side who are bought and paid for, and too many folks on the other side who want to write them off. As an Iowa State Senator, I've been willing to fight those tough battles.
His opponent, Josh Turek, is running on many of the same priorities: lowering costs, improving health care, pushing back against corporate power.
We need more fighters for the middle class. That's what we're missing up in D.C., and that's what I'll be in the U.S. Senate.
But on electability, Turek points to his wins in a tough Republican-leaning Iowa House district.
The two communities that I represent, Trump won Carter Lake by 18 points. He won my hometown of Council Bluffs by 10 points. I was able to win my district by nearly 6 points.
He argues that crossover appeal is what Democrats need to win this Senate seat. And he recently picked up an endorsement from former U.S. Senator Tom Harkin, the last Iowa Democrat to win a Senate race in Iowa.
There is something specific about my story, my background, my resume, but my politics that has this unique ability to resonate with independents and with moderate Republicans. And that's what it's going to take to be able to win this U.S. Senate race.
In Des Moines, Amanda Rooker, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
And KCCI is hosting a debate with candidates Zach Wahls and Josh Turek. The two Democrats will face off on KCCI. It's this Thursday at 9 p.m. There are also two Republicans running for Iowa's U.S. Senate seat. Congresswoman Ashley Hinson and former state Senator Jim Carlin are facing off. Whoever wins the GOP primary will take on either Wahls or Turek in November 3rd's general election.